This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. It was interesting to read the comments that you guys had on the last More from Russ video. Yeah, we were discussing the woman who had issues at Costco. Yeah, she was something else. Some folks thought it was more of an issue with Costco not having enough people working with the other person at the food court. That could very well be. But I think typically they do have people there. It's not like they just leave them there. I really kind of think that the other guy or the other two people went off to the washroom or something, because two more people came back later, right? So they probably just left them there while they did a washroom break or something like that. And then all of a sudden all these people came in, right? So then he was kind of overloaded at that point. So, and others felt that, the lady was taking advantage of things. I think maybe she was. I mean, she wasn't very nice how she was asking the guy for the fork. Asking every 20 seconds. It's not like the guy didn't hear her. But I think she was irritated in the fact that he didn't immediately respond to her. But, he was in the middle of something. Do you drop everything and refill the fork thing? I guess you could have said he could have pulled one out and gave it to her before he refilled the thing. But it comes like in a strip. Yeah, it's like pre-connected or something. Like there's like some type of paper strip or something like that that holds all the forks in place when he puts it into the dispenser, and he put like two of those in there. So I don't know whether he could have actually pulled a fork out and just handed it to her rather than just, filling up the dispenser and having her grab it out of the dispenser. I don't know. I don't know the technical details behind it, but it was all connected. All the forks were connected. So now other people have said that, Costco, or at least in their experience, that some restaurants will have the closing people fill everything all up before they close, so that in the morning, the guys that open will have all the supplies and everything ready to go. Maybe they should adopt something like that. That actually sounds like a good idea. It's not like ketchup and mustard and relish have to be refrigerated, because they're not. They're in these dispensers that are not refrigerated, of course, right? So technically, I guess you could fill it up the night before and just let it sit there, right? That would probably alleviate the problems. But I do know that they don't always check if something is run out until it's run out and somebody's asked them for it. I know that for a fact, because I've asked them a couple of times for odds and ends. Like, for instance, the cup lids, they'll run out of lids, and I'll just tell them, hey, you guys are out of lids, and then they'll come and they'll refill the lids. They're so busy fulfilling orders and making pizzas and hot dogs and things. They really don't have time to keep looking at the supplies and make sure the supplies are constantly filled. They don't have a person specifically that is responsible for doing refills of supplies. So they only know it really when someone complains about it. It's a simple thing. It's not like it's gonna break somebody's day. Apparently it broke that lady's day. If you run out of lids, that you have to ask for a lid, and it takes 2 seconds to put the lids in there, so it's not a big deal. Now the ketchup and things like that, I don't know when they switch it, but the guy came back and told her they were out of relish, which I thought was kind of interesting. They have been out of napkins before. Yeah, recently, just last week, they were out of napkins. They were giving everybody paper towels. I think that's actually more expensive than making sure you have your supplies of napkins, right? But everyone was getting paper towels. They've run out of Pepsi before. Yeah, or if they didn't run out, they were, the machine was down for whatever reason, and they would be handing people a can of Pepsi. Yeah, I've seen that many times. That's actually more costly to them. The fountain version of the Pepsi is cheaper than the actual canned version of Pepsi. But, when people buy a hot dog, they expect to get a Pepsi or whatever they want to get. And if you don't have it, then that's bad. So they will give out cans of Pepsi, That really cost them money. The only thing I don't like about that is if I want a refill, I can't get it. I only get a can. So, and the cans, of course, are smaller than the cups. So, yeah, little things. But, others have said that, Costco's food in general at the food court is pretty reasonable. So you can't really complain too much, So others thought that she was taking advantage of the situation. Yeah, I think she did, because she realized that the guy didn't take away her food that was still sitting on the table, so she took it with her. Now, I guess you could say, well, they're going to toss it anyways, but, if you're going to ask for your money back, I don't think you should actually be taking the food along with you and then filling up the cup, getting the ketchup on the hot dogs for herself and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Will she do it again? I don't know. She seemed like the type that might actually try that again, because she got away with it once. She may try it again and do it again. So, Costco employees, keep an eye out. Now, there is one guy I mentioned before, and I've seen this guy multiple times, okay? He always gets a water cup, and people have said, hey, Russ, why don't you just get a water cup instead of buying the bottle of water? Yeah, well, it's only 25 cents. It's not going to kill me. But anyways, this guy, he's an older guy. He always gets a cup of water, but he never fills it with water. He fills it with lemonade. Because you can tell. I mean, it's yellow. It's yellow. It's lemonade. He never pays for that. Yeah. Now, you could say, okay, you can complain about this guy, but, he's an older guy. I guess if somebody were to stop him to do it, well, he'll probably stop doing it. But, he orders his pizza. He gets himself a free lemonade. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, on other topics here, I did put down the pre-emergent. It took me a while. I finally put it down yesterday. I've had odds and end things, to deal with and the like. So I finally put it down. And I tire out from doing it because, I can't walk very well. And you got to walk back and forth on the grass to do it. And then, of course, I put down the preen, which is kind of the pre-emergent that goes around the flower bed areas. So I put all that down. I didn't get a chance to put down the additional, what is that stuff, Scott's Turf Builder. I might do that today. But I have to do a review today. I have no option now. I have to do the one review for a bike today, because tomorrow is going to be extremely high winds, and that would be terrible to be caught in the high winds and trying to do a bike review. And then Saturday, I don't know what's going to happen. It might rain or something like that. I don't know what the deal is, but the weather is changing quite a bit here. It's a little chilly this morning, although I just have this sweatshirt on. I just run in and I run out, like I said, to Costco. But it's a little chilly this morning, but I think it's going to be a high of about 60 degrees. I can't wait that long, though. I've got to get out there a little bit earlier, otherwise the sun and everything like that, the angle of the sun will look a little strange. So what I got to do is I got to get out there, do the review, come back in. I have some inside the house portions that I have to do the review with. The display screens, I think, when I show the display screens for the features in there, it always looks washed out on the reviews. So I think to show that indoors is probably better. It's not so bad in person, but for some reason the camera just can't pick up the stuff sometimes. Yeah. In person, I can see the display screens fine, but on camera, it always looks washed out or something. So so I got to do that, and then submit the review for the company to review themselves before I upload for public release. Yeah, some of the companies actually ask to look at it before before you release it. I've mentioned this before, and that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that, because if they don't like your review and they tell you to, don't publish it, that's their prerogative, right? They could choose not to let you release it. But I've never really had anyone say don't release the. Well, okay, I did have one, but I didn't even show him the review. I told him, look, the product's not working well. if I do this video, it's going to be bad for you. That's when they finally said, don't do it. So I had one company do that. They just outright said, don't bother. Which is good, because I would hate to put all that effort in and then just, tell them to pull it. But at least I was honest with them, and they agreed that, yeah, if it's not going to be a positive review for us, we'd rather not have it published. It's okay. Whatever. All right, so that's what I've got going on. Now, I'm going to go into Costco. We'll see if anything exciting happens today. If something exciting happens today, I will make a mention as an addendum to the video, okay? If you don't see anything, then it was a non-eventful standard day. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Last I looked, I am one person shy of 500 subscribers. We're at the halfway point at this point, so that's good. Thank you so much for that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Okay, I have a story for you guys. Yeah, a Costco story for you. So I was in the food court area, sitting down eating my pizza, and there's a little kid, I'm going to say maybe 3 years old, maybe, little boy with his mom in front of me, in the table in front of me. And the little kid's playing on his little iPad thing, and so the next thing you know, he's rubbing his nose up against his mom's shoulder. Guess what he was doing? He's blowing his nose on his mom's shoulder. So mom says, well, what are you doing? He goes, I'm wiping my booger on your sleeve, or something to that effect. So the mom goes, what? So she goes over and gets a napkin, and she's wiping off. But she can't see it. It's actually behind her arm a little bit, so she really can't see it. So I had to say, I'm sorry, but the stuff is still on your shoulder. So she turns it around and she goes, oh, man. These are fun things that happen to parents, as their kids grow up. She got it all off, but it was pretty gross. It was a long line of, yeah, that was a fun thing. I ran into Tom as well at Costco, and we were talking a little bit. And yeah, he saw the video that we talked about the Costco event with the guy or the lady and the employee at Costco. And then we were talking about the new wired e-bike as well. Yeah, I told him that Wired had told me that they are pretty much sold out of the new 72 volt wired bike that's out. I asked for the step-through version, and yeah, that thing's got a huge motor on it. And he was excited to see what it was until I told him, I said, it's 145 pounds. Yeah, that thing is heavy, 145 pounds, but it's got a huge motor. Apparently they're tweaking it still and hoping to get it to about 50 miles an hour. It's so huge and so big and so powerful. I really wonder whether I would be willing to ride it to 50. Even on a test, I would feel very nervous. I was nervous even going at 40 miles an hour on the wired cruiser. Yeah, what is this new one called? I can't remember. Go to the Wired e-bike website, take a look at it. It's the most recent version, 72 volts. Yeah, think about many of the e-bikes are 48 volt batteries, and then wired. Some went to 52. The Magicycle is 52 volts, and then wired went to 60 volts. Now they're going to 72, and the motor. Oh man, that thing's got some major torque. Yeah, it'll do some serious hill climbing. So I'm looking at this bike and I'm thinking, is this something I would use? Here in the Chicago area, I don't know. It's we don't have huge hills. Okay, right now I'm going down a hill, but in general, we don't have a lot of hills. It's Chicago's relatively flat in general, but if you lived in an area that had huge hills to go up and down, this bike will have no problem going up and down hills. Because I've had people in the past ask me about a recommendation for a bike that can go up and down a hill easily. This would be one. Yeah, I've never seen a bike do what this one can do. I'm just watching Citizen Psycho actually had the prototype, and so he did a quick review of it. And yeah, it's pretty powerful. So my thought about it is, and probably my take will be, somebody who wants to get a powerful bike that can go over hills, if you're not really into just speed, okay, which I am not to that kind of speed. But if you have an issue with climbing hills, you won't have an issue with this bike. Believe me, you'll never have an issue with this bike. Yeah, it's like $2,500 or $2,600, but then you have to pay for shipping as well. They don't pay for the shipping, so you figure another $250 to ship a bike, something like that. Maybe even a little bit more, because this thing's heavy. It's 145 pounds. That's the heaviest e-bike I've ever seen. So yeah, it'll be coming hopefully at the end of May. But the last time he told me you'll have a bike by a certain time, it took a month or two later before I even got it, because he fulfills the orders first. But I told him to reserve me one, and I wanted a red one, just in case you're curious. I said, reserve me a red one, and then we'll deal with it at that point. But a number of the Russ's Ride viewers have purchased wired e-bikes, so there's obviously an interest in this type of e-bike. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it, but I'm also a little nervous about it. Yeah. Oh well, anyways, those are the updates I have for you guys. Thanks for hanging around longer to listen to my my little Costco story, and then also the update on the wired e-bike. Talk to you guys next time.